Hello there, and welcome to the Sleeping Science Bedtime. Tonight we'll drift through the quiet architecture of the universe, a place where light moves slower and time forgets to hurry. There is a landscape that exists beyond the reach of your hands, a vast and silent territory where the ticking of the clock softens into the curvature of space itself. It is a realm where the past is not truly gone, but simply waiting in the distance, and where the future is already woven into the fabric of the dark. Here, the rigid lines of history begin to bend, allowing us to wander through the mysteries of cause and effect without ever leaving the comfort of this moment. Perhaps the day has been full of noise, rushing from one hour to the next, driven by the relentless demand of the schedule. But here, in this protected space, there is no need to count the seconds or measure the progress of the night. Let your shoulders rest. Let gravity hold you against the mattress, grounding you in the certainty of the earth beneath you. You are stationary now, yet moving through the cosmos at a speed you cannot feel, held safely within the great, turning machinery of existence. Tonight, we'll drift through the quiet laws of time travel, exploring the physics that bind the moments of your life together. If this calm space brings you peace, consider sharing it. It helps other wandering minds find their way here too. Now, let's begin. Imagine for a moment that time is not a fleeing river, but a sprawling field of snow, stretching out in all directions, untouched and serene. Usually, we only look forward, walking a single path, leaving footprints that freeze instantly behind us. But tonight, we will lift our eyes to the horizon, considering the possibility that the field exists all at once, vast and traversable. We will trace the invisible equations that suggest we might turn back or leap forward, floating gently over the drifts of memory and potential. You are resting in the center of what physicists call the present, a fleeting sensation that feels like the only reality. It is the razor's edge where your breath happens, where your heart beats, where the thought forms in your mind. This sensation of now is your anchor, the point of reference from which you view the universe. But this anchor is a creation of your consciousness, a biological necessity that allows you to navigate the world. In the deep language of physics, the distinction between now, then, and later is an illusion, albeit a persistent and convincing one. You are drifting in a much larger sea, where every moment that has ever happened is still floating, suspended in the amber of space-time. To understand the flow of time, you must first feel the direction of the wind, the subtle, invisible force that pushes everything from order into quiet disarray. This is the arrow of time, guided by the second law of thermodynamics, which whispers that things naturally drift toward a state of rest and scattering. Think of a drop of ink falling into a clear glass of water. It blooms, spreads, and eventually clouds the whole, never gathering itself back into a single black pearl. This spreading is the universe exhaling, moving from a tight, organized past toward a loose, open future. It is a gentle expansion, a relaxing of the knots, ensuring that tomorrow looks different from yesterday. This irreversible drift is why you remember the past, but not the future. Your memory is an archive of the disorder that has already occurred. The heat from a cooling cup of tea disperses into the room, warming the air by a fraction of a degree, never to return to the ceramic mug. This process is not a loss, but a settling, a redistribution of energy into a wider, calmer state. You are part of this flow, drifting downstream with the rest of the cosmos, carried by the current of increasing entropy. It is a peaceful surrender to the nature of reality, a promise that the universe is constantly evolving, constantly unfolding into new configurations of matter and light. And still, the sequence holds. While the arrow of time points forward, there is a speed limit that governs how quickly any event can ripple through the cosmos. This limit is the speed of light, the absolute ceiling of motion, the cosmic pace at which reality communicates with itself. Light travels at a finite speed, a steady rhythm that never hurries and never slows in a vacuum. Because of this, when you look out at the world, you are never seeing it exactly as it is now, but as it was a fraction of a moment ago. The light from the lamp takes a nanosecond to reach your eyes. The moonlight resting on the floor is just over 1 second old. You are always living in the gentle wake of the present. Consider the stars that hang silently above your roof, burning in the cold vacuum of space. When you gaze up at them, you are looking into a deep, ancient well of history. The light from the nearest star has traveled for 4 years to reach you, carrying an image of a time when the world was slightly different. You are a time traveler in the most fundamental sense, constantly witnessing the ghosts of the past as they arrive on the shores of your vision. The universe is a grand mosaic of delayed signals, a tapestry woven from threads of light that started their journey long before you took your first breath. This delay is not a flaw in the system, but a buffer, a cushion that keeps the universe from happening all at once. It ensures that cause precedes effect, that the message arrives after it is sent, maintaining the sanity of the narrative. If you could travel faster than light, you might overtake the signal, arriving before the news of your departure, seeing the glass shatter before it falls. But the cosmos protects its chronology with vast distances and the steady, unyielding constant of light. It creates a rhythm of events, a cadence that allows stories to unfold, allows music to have a melody, and allows your life to have a direction. The rhythm of light remains constant. This orderly progression creates the law of causality, the sturdy logic that says the seed must be planted before the flower can bloom. It is the reason you feel secure in the continuity of your existence. You know that your actions today will shape the stillness of tomorrow. In a linear world, the past is a solid foundation, a locked vault of events that supports the structure of the present. To travel backward would be to challenge this foundation, to suggest that the effect could turn around and influence the cause. It is a dizzying thought, one that defies the intuitive sense of how the world works, yet the equations of physics do not strictly forbid it. Imagine the shattering of a crystal vase, the shards scattering across the floor in a chaotic pattern. In our experience, the vase never reassembles itself, leaping back onto the shelf to become whole again. But on the microscopic level, the laws of motion are reversible. An atom colliding with another looks the same whether time runs forward or backward. The irreversibility comes from the sheer complexity of the system, the staggering improbability of every shard finding its exact place again. Time travel, then, is a struggle against the weight of probability, a negotiation with the overwhelming tendency of the universe to move towards simple, quiet dust. There is a profound longing in the human heart to return, to revisit the warm rooms of childhood, or to undo a spoken word. This desire is the emotional counterpart to the physicist's quest for a closed, time-like curve, a path through space that loops back upon itself. We wish to step out of the current, to swim upstream against the flow of entropy, and find the moments we thought were lost. Science tells us that, while the river is strong, the banks are not as solid as they appear. The geometry of the world is soft, malleable, and capable of folding in ways that might, just theoretically, allow the loop to close, and silence follows the event. To understand how the path might bend, we must let go of the idea that time is a rigid, ticking metronome governing the universe. Decades ago, a quiet revolution in thought revealed that time is personal, elastic, and inseparable from space. This is the essence of relativity, the realization that your measurement of seconds is unique to your motion and your position. A clock on a fast-moving train ticks at a slightly different rhythm than a clock resting on the platform. There is no master clock in the center of the universe keeping perfect time for everyone. There is only your clock and the local flow of moments around you. You carry your own time with you, like a bubble of atmosphere, distinct from the time experienced by a passing satellite or a distant star. If you were to drift through space at great speed, your body would age slower than the friends you left behind on Earth. This is not a trick of the mind, but a physical reality. The cells in your body, the atoms in your blood, would vibrate at a more leisurely pace relative to the stationary world. You would return to find the future had arrived without you, that centuries had passed on Earth while you experienced only a few years of quiet travel. This connection creates the fabric of spacetime, a four-dimensional manifold where up, down, left, and right are joined by the direction of later. Imagine a heavy velvet sheet stretched taut, supporting the weight of marbles and bowling balls. The sheet curves and dips around the mass, creating valleys and slopes. This curvature is what we feel as gravity, not a pulling force, but a sliding along the curved geometry of the fabric. And just as space curves, time curves with it. Near a massive object, the fabric stretches, and the duration of a second expands, becoming longer and deeper. The geometry endures. Consider the Earth beneath you, a massive sphere of iron and rock, bending the space-time in which you rest. Because of its mass, time moves slightly slower on the surface of the world than it does in the high, thin air of the atmosphere. Your feet, resting lower in the gravity well, are aging a fraction of a nanosecond slower than your head. It is a minuscule difference, imperceptible to the senses, but it is real. The closer you are to the heavy center of the planet, the tighter the fabric is pulled, and the more resistant time becomes to the forward flow. You are being cradled by gravity, held in a slightly slower pocket of existence. Far above the clouds, the satellites that guide your maps orbit in a weaker gravitational field, where time runs faster. Engineers must program their internal clocks to tick slightly slower than those on the ground, or else the navigation would drift by miles every day. This is the daily proof of time travel. These machines are constantly navigating a different temporal stream, synchronizing their fast-moving seconds with your slow, earthbound moments. It is a quiet, continuous negotiation between the heaviness of the planet and the freedom of the void. A dance of relativity happening silently above your roof. Imagine standing at the base of a great mountain, looking up at the snowy peak piercing the sky. The climber at the summit exists in a slightly different time than you do at the base. Their time is moving faster, unburdened by the full weight of the earth below. If you were to stay in the valley for a lifetime, you would technically travel less through time than someone who lived on the peak. The difference is measured in billionths of a second, but it reveals the truth. Time is not a flat plane, but a topography with hills and valleys, fast streams and slow eddies. Gravity whispers to the clock. If gravity can slow time, then velocity can stretch it. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. It is a cosmic trade-off. The universe allows you only a fixed amount of motion through the 4 dimensions. If you use all your speed to travel across space, you have none left to travel through time. A photon of light, moving at the absolute limit, experiences no time at all. For a particle of light, the moment it leaves a star and the moment it hits your eye are the same instant. It exists in an eternal, frozen now, bridging the gap between worlds without aging a single day. As you lie there, perfectly still, you are dedicating almost all your motion to the journey through time, traveling forward at the maximum rate of 1 second per second. But if you were to board a ship capable of immense speed, approaching the velocity of light, the balance would shift. The universe outside your window would seem to speed up, galaxies spinning and evolving in fast motion. While inside your cabin, the air would remain still, the tea would steam gently, and your breath would come in its usual slow rhythm. You would be an island of calm, preserving your youth while the cosmos aged rapidly around you. This journey into the future is a one-way street, a gentle slide down the slope of relativity. To travel far ahead, one must simply find a place where the gravity is immense, a region where the fabric of the cosmos is pulled taut. The ultimate destination for such a voyage is the event horizon of a black hole, the dark monarch of space-time. Here, a collapsed star has folded in upon itself, creating a well so deep that even light cannot climb the walls. As you drift toward this silent sphere, the clocks on board, your ship would begin to tick with excruciating slowness compared to the universe outside. The closer you drift to the horizon, the more the outside world accelerates. If you could hover just above that invisible line, suspending yourself against the pull, you would witness the entire history of the galaxy playing out in fast forward. Stars would be born, flare into brilliance, and fade into embers in the span of a single breath. Civilizations might rise and fall like the tides of a fast-moving ocean, their voices merging into a single high-pitched hum. You would be a silent witness, preserved in a bubble of slow time, watching the eons rush by like rain against a window pane, safe within the gravity shadow. And the orbit holds. To an observer watching you from far away, however, your journey would look very different. As you approach the edge of the shadow, your image would seem to slow down, freezing in place as the light struggled to escape the gravity. They would never see you cross the threshold. Instead, you would fade slowly, turning redder and dimmer, lingering forever as a ghostly afterimage on the edge of the dark. It is a trick of the light, a divergence of realities, where you are both falling forever and already gone. The universe keeps your image safe on the horizon, while you slip quietly into the mystery below. Inside the horizon, the rules of geometry shift in ways the mind can barely grasp. Here, space and time exchange roles. The direction toward the center becomes a point in time, as inevitable as tomorrow. You can no longer move away from the singularity any more than you can move backward to yesterday. The path forward is the only path, leading down into the heart of the curve. Yet, even here, there is no violence, only a profound stretching, a lengthening of the body and the wave, yielding to the absolute authority of the curve. You are simply following the steepest road in the universe. The quiet remains in the deep. But what if the fabric did not just stretch, but folded? Imagine a sheet of paper with two dots drawn far apart. To travel between them takes time, a journey across the flat expanse. But if you gently curl the paper, bringing the two dots until they touch, the distance vanishes. This is the dream of the Einstein-Rosen bridge, known more poetically as a wormhole, a tunnel carved through the bulk of space-time, connecting two distant eras or locations. It is a secret passage in the architecture of the cosmos, a shortcut that bypasses the long, lonely roads of light years. To enter such a bridge would be to step into a sphere of distorted light, a lens reflecting a place you have never been. Unlike a black hole, which is a door that locks behind you, a stable wormhole is a corridor, a throat that opens into another sky. You might drift into the mouth of the tunnel near Earth and emerge, moments later, near a star that has not yet been born, or in a nebula that faded 1,000 years ago. The walls of this tunnel are made of the same space-time fabric, but curved into a tube, shielding you from the void outside. And the structure endures. For this tunnel to remain open, to keep the throat from pinching shut under its own weight, the universe requires something rare and exotic. It needs a form of energy that pushes rather than pulls, a negative pressure that props up the walls like pillars in a mine. We call this exotic matter, a substance that defies the usual laws of attraction, creating a repulsive force that holds the door ajar. It is the breath that keeps the bubble from bursting, a quiet energy that works against the crushing instinct of gravity. Without it, the bridge is fleeting, vanishing as quickly as it forms. If you could stabilize this passage, you would create a loop in time, a closed circuit where the end connects back to the beginning. Imagine walking through a door and finding yourself in the room you just left, but seeing yourself sitting in the chair, reading this very sentence. This is the closed time-like curve, a pathway where the timeline circles back on itself like a ring of smoke. In this geometry, the past is not a memory, but a destination, a place that physically exists just a few steps down the curved corridor. The loop turns gently. The existence of such loops brings us to the quiet paradoxes of causality, the riddles that keep physicists awake in the soft dark. If you were to travel back and change a small detail, move a book, shift a cup, speak a word, would the future dissolve? The classic fear is that you might prevent your own journey, creating a contradiction that the universe cannot hold. But the cosmos is resilient. It does not shatter easily. Some theories suggest that time is like a river that self-corrects. If you throw a stone into the current, the water ripples but flows around it, eventually returning to its course. This is the principle of self-consistency, a soothing idea that suggests you cannot break the past because you were always part of it. If you travel back, your presence there was already recorded in the history you left behind. You are not an intruder rewriting the script, but an actor who was always in the scene, even if you didn't know it yet. The cup you moved was always moved. The word you spoke was always heard. The timeline is a single, unchangeable block, intricate and complete, where every loop is woven seamlessly into the pattern, and the weave remains tight. Imagine a billiard ball rolling toward a time machine, entering the portal and emerging in the past, just in time to collide with its younger self. The collision knocks the younger ball into the machine, ensuring the journey happens exactly as it must. There is no paradox here, only a complex, elegant dance of cause and effect that loops perfectly. The universe, in this view, arranges itself to avoid contradiction, bending the angles of chance to ensure that the narrative makes sense. You are free to move, but your movements are part of a harmony that has already been composed. This perspective offers a strange comfort. It implies that while we cannot change what has been, we also cannot make a mistake that destroys reality. The past is a solid object, a sculpture that has already been fired in the kiln. We can touch it, explore its curves, and marvel at its shape, but we cannot reshape the clay. The anxiety of what if begins to fade, replaced by the calm acceptance of what is. The timeline is not a fragile thread, but a sturdy cable, braided from infinite loops and crossings, strong enough to hold the weight of history. Silence travels through the loop, but there are other whispers in the math, other ways the universe might handle the freedom of travel. Perhaps, when the river meets an obstacle, it does not flow around it, but splits. This is the branching path, the suggestion that every choice, every quantum event, creates a new direction. If you were to step back into the past and change the course of things, you might not be rewriting your own history, but initiating a new one. The timeline you knew continues on, untouched, while you drift seamlessly onto a fresh current, a parallel stream flowing toward a different ocean. In this garden of forking paths, there are no paradoxes, only endless possibilities. The universe is not a single line, but a vast, expanding tree, with branches growing from every moment. You could visit a past that looks like yours, but as soon as you breathe the air, it becomes a new world, separate and distinct. The version of you that left is still there, sleeping in the original future, while the version of you that arrived is here, planting seeds in a new soil. Everything that can happen does happen, somewhere in the infinite canopy of time, and the branches grow softly. This idea of the many worlds relieves the pressure on the single timeline. It grants the traveler a kind of freedom, a release from the fear of breaking the universe. Space is vast enough to hold all histories, all outcomes, all dreams. If you were to travel back, you would simply be sliding sideways, stepping from one track to another, exploring a variation on the theme of reality. It is a universe of infinite abundance, where no door is ever truly closed, and every road not taken is simply a road taken by another version of you. Consider the subatomic particles that make up your hands, the electrons spinning in the dark around the nucleus. They do not exist in one place, but in a cloud of probabilities, a smear of potential. Until they are observed, they are everywhere at once. Time travel might be the macroscopic expression of this quantum truth, that reality is not a single sharp point, but a blur of possibilities. We are usually confined to one path, one sharp focus, but the machinery of the universe is built on the hazy, beautiful logic of everywhere and everywhen. The cloud drifts slowly. Let us return to the sensation of the present, the feeling of your weight on the bed. Even if the universe splits and branches, your consciousness feels singular, continuous. You are the navigator of your own stream, steering through the fog of potential. The theoretical loops and branches are happening in the deep background, in the basement of physics. But up here, in the quiet room, the experience is smooth. You are gliding through the manifold, carried by the momentum of your own life, protected by the sheer scale of the events required to bend the flow. Think of the cosmic strings, thin fractures in the universe left over from the dawn of time. These are defects in space, like cracks in a frozen lake, infinitely long and incredibly dense. If two of these strings were to pass each other at high speed, they might warp the spacetime around them so severely that they create a natural time machine. A ship piloting a figure-8 course around these moving strings could return to its starting point before it left. These are the ancient, silent engines of the cosmos, drifting in the void, waiting for a traveler with the patience to find them. And everything softens. The energy required to manipulate these forces is beyond comprehension, equivalent to the burning of entire galaxies. This magnitude is a barrier, but it is also a safeguard. It ensures that time travel remains difficult, a rare and majestic event rather than a daily chaos. The universe imposes a high price on the reversal of the arrow, demanding that one master the energy of stars before tampering with the calendar. It preserves the peace of the ordinary timeline, allowing life to evolve in the quiet, predictable warmth of the forward flow. Yet, there is a form of time travel you perform every night, without effort. As you close your eyes and drift towards sleep, your perception of the passing hours dissolves. The rigid ticking of the clock softens and fades. You might close your eyes for a moment and wake to find 8 hours have vanished in a heartbeat. This is the subjective time leap, the biological shortcut that refreshes the mind. In the realm of dreams, you are free from the linear constraint, revisiting the past, constructing new futures, and living a lifetime in the span of a REM cycle. The mind knows the way. Deep within the equations of quantum mechanics, there are particles that seem to move backward in time naturally. Some physicists suggest that antimatter is simply normal matter moving in reverse. An electron traveling forward in time is indistinguishable from a positron traveling backward. In this view, the universe is filled with tiny time travelers, weaving back and forth through the fabric, stitching the moment together. The stability of your chair, the air in the room, is built from this constant microscopic exchange of past and future. Imagine a single electron bouncing back and forth through time, appearing as trillions of separate particles, creating the illusion of a crowded universe. It is a poetic thought that perhaps all of existence is just one lonely particle, weaving a complex tapestry, interacting with itself across the ages. It suggests a profound unity, a connection between the start of the cosmos and its end. Every atom in your body might be the same ancient traveler, wearing a different face, holding a different position in the grand dance. This intricate dance of particles suggests that the flow of time we perceive is merely a perspective, a way our consciousness organizes the static map of reality. Imagine for a moment that you could step outside the universe, floating in a dimension beyond the four we know, looking down at the cosmos as if it were a solid object. From this vantage point, time would not be moving. It would simply be another direction, like length, width, or height. You would see the entire history of the universe laid out as a single, immutable block, a glistening crystal of events where the Big Bang and the final fade of the last star exist, simultaneously, at opposite ends. In this block universe, your life is not a flickering candle moving through the dark, but a permanent filament woven into the crystal. Every moment you have ever lived, and every moment you will ever live, is fixed in its place, like a frame in a reel of film that has already been developed. The sensation of becoming, of moving from one frame to the next, is a lantern shining through the reel, illuminating one scene at a time. But the scenes themselves are always there, waiting in the dark before the light arrives, and remaining in the dark after the light has passed, and stillness holds the shape. This view implies that the past does not vanish into nothingness. It remains as real and solid as the ground beneath a traveler who has walked 1,000 miles. Just because you have left the city of your childhood does not mean the city has ceased to exist. You are simply no longer occupying that coordinate. In the landscape of space-time, the year of your birth is a location, a fixed point in the geometry that is forever inhabited by the infant version of you. You cannot return to it simply because your consciousness is a mechanism designed to crawl forward, never to retrace its steps along the temporal longitude. The solidity of the block also changes the nature of the future. In a linear experience, we view tomorrow as a blank void, a hazy cloud of potential that has not yet formed. But if the block is complete, the future is as real as the past, existing in a state of quiet waiting. It is a terrain that has already been mapped, a mountain range that sits in the mist, fully formed, even if you have not yet reached the foothills. The events of next year are already embedded in the crystal, as distinct and unavoidable as the events of yesterday. The architecture rests. This brings a profound sense of peace, a release from the anxiety of control. If the script is already written, then the pressure to shape the future dissolves into the grace of experiencing it. You are not building the road as you walk. You are simply uncovering it step by step, observing the scenery as it reveals itself. The nervousness of choice becomes the curiosity of discovery. You are a passenger in a vehicle that knows its destination, free to watch the window, to marvel at the passing stars, and to rest in the certainty that the journey follows a coherent, unbroken line. Yet, within this solid block, the angles can be strange. We rely on the idea of simultaneity, the belief that now is the same for everyone, everywhere. But relativity shatters this shared moment. Imagine two observers, one standing still and one moving rapidly across the galaxy. Because of the way speed tilts the slice of now through the block, what is happening at this moment for one person might be in the deep past or distant future for the other. There is no universal slice that cuts through the loaf of time. There are only individual angles, personal, cross-sections of the great crystal, and the silence deepens. This means that somewhere in the vastness of the cosmos, viewed from the perspective of a distant, fast-moving star, your tomorrow has already happened. To an observer angling through the block differently, you might already be waking up, or growing old, or returning to dust. It is a dizzying thought that dismantles the privilege of the present. Your now is just one validity among infinite others, a subjective slice through an objective eternity. The universe does not agree on what time it is. It only agrees on the structure of the whole, leaving each observer to clock their own passage through the bulk. Let us drift back to the edge of the impossible, to the particles that might challenge the forward march. In the equations, there is room for a hypothetical entity known as the tachyon. These are particles born moving faster than light, forever forbidden from slowing down to our pace, because they exceed the cosmic speed limit. The math suggests they would move backward through time as naturally as we move forward. For a tachyon, the future is the origin, and the past is the destination. They are rain that falls upward, light that retreats into the source. The current flows in reverse. If such particles exist, they would be the ultimate messengers, capable of carrying a signal back to a time before it was sent. Imagine a telephone that rings with a call you haven't made yet, a voice speaking from the shadow of next week. This creates a loop of information, a causal circle where the origin of an idea becomes lost. If you receive the blueprints for a machine from the future, and then you build it to send the blueprints back, who invented the machine? The idea exists in the loop, uncreated, seemingly born from the geometry of the paradox itself. This is the bootstrap paradox, a loop of logic that feels like a magic trick. It suggests that information can exist without an author, hanging in spacetime like a ring of smoke that never dissipates. A melody could be hummed by a time traveler to a composer, who then writes it down so that the traveler can learn it to hum it back. The melody simply is. It has no beginning, no moment of composition, only an eternal existence within the circle. It is a perfect, self-sustaining note in the symphony of the block universe, and the circle remains unbroken. While these paradoxes play out in the abstract, your body remains anchored by the heavy, comforting law of entropy. We feel time moving forward because we are biological machines fueled by the digestion of order into disorder. We eat complex food and release simple heat. We take in organized information and create scattered memories. Our perception of time is strictly thermal. If the universe were to begin contracting, forcing entropy to decrease, would we remember the future? Would the shattered cup leap from the floor, and would we feel the memory of it being whole before it happened? It is likely that our consciousness is locked to the gradient of disorder. We are surfers on the wave of entropy, and we can only look back at the wake we leave behind. We cannot see the ocean ahead because the wave has not yet broken there. This psychological arrow of time aligns perfectly with the thermodynamic one, a marriage of mind and matter. You perceive the flow because you are part of the dissolving world. a participant in the slow, beautiful unraveling of the sun's energy. Into the cold void. The wave travels on. Consider again the twins, the classic voyagers of relativity. One stays on Earth, rooted in the gravity of home, while the other boards a ship that accelerates near the speed of light. The traveling twin leaves the solar system, banking around distant stars, pushing through the cosmos at a pace that stretches the seconds into hours. For the traveler, the journey might feel like a few quiet weeks, reading, sleeping, watching the nebulae drift by. But outside the hull, the calendar of Earth is turning frantically, shedding years like autumn leaves. When the ship turns around, fighting the inertia to return, the asymmetry is sealed. The reunion is a meeting of two different eras. The sibling who stayed is now old, skin weathered by decades of gravity and sunlight, while the traveler remains young, untouched by the long passage of Earth time. They stand together, a living testament to the elasticity of the moment. The traveler has effectively jumped into the future, skipping the intervening years, arriving in a world that has moved on without them. It is not magic. It is simply that they took a shortcut through time by taking the long way through space. And the rhythm adjusts. This meeting reveals that time is a resource, like fuel or oxygen, that is consumed at different rates depending on how you move. The twin on Earth spent their time simply existing, burning through it at the standard rate. The traveler hoarded their time, saving it by moving fast, storing their youth in the kinetic energy of the ship. There is a melancholy beauty in this trade. To gain the future, one must sacrifice the shared present. The traveler arrives in the new world, but they arrive alone, separated from the generation that once knew their name. The sadness of time travel is the sadness of displacement. To move through time is to become an exile, a ghost wandering in a foreign land. The context of your life, the slang, the fashion, the unspoken understandings, belongs to your specific coordinate in the block. To leave that coordinate is to leave your home. Perhaps this is why we are bound so tightly to the present. It is where we belong, where we fit into the puzzle. The universe holds us here, in the company of our peers, moving together through the dark at the same steady pace. Everything rests in its place. Let us look deeper into the texture of the now. If you could magnify the fabric of space-time down to the smallest scale, past the atoms, past the quarks, you might find that it is not smooth at all. At the Planck scale, the tiniest measure of reality, space and time may dissolve into a chaotic foam. Here, the distinction between before and after loses its meaning completely. Tiny wormholes might be constantly forming and vanishing, microscopic loops of time bubbling in a quantum froth. The solid ground of causality might be, at its foundation, a shifting ocean of chance. In this quantum foam, the arrow of time has no direction. The geometry is so twisted and turbulent that there is no up or down, no past or future. It is a state of pure, timeless potential, the raw clay from which the smooth, orderly universe emerges. It suggests that time is an emergent property, something that only exists when you zoom out, like the temperature of a gas or the shape of a dune. Individually, the grains of sand have no shape, but together, they form the graceful curves of the desert. The foam settles quietly. This implies that time might be a kind of illusion, a macroscopic blur that hides the timeless chaos underneath. We live in the blur, in the smooth average of the foam, and we call it reality. But deep down, in the basement of the universe, there is no clock ticking. There is only the eternal interaction of fields and forces, swapping energy in a dance that has no beginning and no end. We are protected from this chaos by the sheer scale of our existence, floating on the surface of the deep, oblivious to the turmoil in the depths. As you lie here, you are a macroscopic being, a creature of the smooth world. You do not feel the foam. You feel the sheets, the air, the rhythmic expansion of your lungs. You are safely insulated from the quantum storm, held in the gentle, statistical certainty of the everyday. The laws of physics that govern your sleep are reliable and calm. The probability of your room suddenly dissolving or your clock running backward is effectively zero. You are cradled by the law of large numbers, the statistical safety net that keeps the weirdness of the micro-world at bay, and the calm endures. Let us consider the possibility of time as a dimension, in a more literal sense. If time is truly a fourth dimension, perpendicular to the three of space, then objects are not just 3D shapes. They are 4D world tubes. Your body is a long, winding snake through space-time, starting at your birth and ending at your death. If you could see this 4D shape, you would look like a long, complex corridor of flesh and bone, stretching through the years. The you lying in bed right now is just a cross-section, a single slice of the long, continuous worm that is your total existence. This 4D perspective connects you to every version of yourself. The child you were is the tail of the snake. The elder you will become is the head. They are all part of the same organism, connected by the continuous flow of matter and memory. When you feel nostalgia, you are sensing the vibration traveling down the length of the tube, a signal from the earlier segments of yourself. You are not separate from your past. You are physically continuous with it, extending through the dimension of time, just as your arm extends through the dimension of space. This long, continuous shape of your life is not isolated. It is braided with the world tubes of everyone you know. When you meet a friend, your two world lines come close together, twisting around each other in the fabric of space-time, sharing the same coordinates for a while. A conversation is simply the resonance between two adjacent threads in the great tapestry. Even when you part ways, the geometry of your meeting remains fixed in the block, an immutable knot in the weave that can never be untied. The structure of your relationships is built into the architecture of the universe, preserving every shared laugh and quiet moment forever. The permanence of the block universe offers a remedy to the ache of loss. In this view, nothing truly fades. It only recedes from the cutting edge of the now. The moments you cherish, the sun on your face yesterday, the voice of a loved one years ago, are not gone. They are simply located elsewhere. Like a city you visited once and remember fondly, they are still there, bustling and bright, inhabited by the versions of you that experienced them. You cannot drive back to them because the road only goes one way, but the city itself has not crumbled, and the line continues. If we accept this crystallized view of reality, the concept of changing the past reveals itself as a misunderstanding of the material. You cannot change the past because the past is the foundation upon which you stand. It is the rock that supports the weight of the present. To chip away at the stone beneath your feet would be to destabilize your own existence. The universe protects its structural integrity, ensuring that the timeline is a load-bearing wall that cannot be shifted. Without bringing down the roof, you are safe because the history that made you is unbreakable. Yet the mind wanders to the edges, to the strange loops where the geometry might allow a return. Consider the grandfather paradox not as a violent contradiction, but as a geometric impossibility, like trying to draw a square circle. If you were to travel back, the universe would simply not allow you to perform the action that erases your origin. The gun would jam, the train would be late, the meeting would be missed. The timeline would bend around your intentions, absorbing the disturbance like a heavy curtain absorbing the wind, ensuring that the final shape remains consistent with the beginning. The pattern holds its form. This resilience is known as the Novikov self-consistency principle. It suggests that the probability of any event creating a paradox is zero. The universe is a self-correcting system, a vast organism that heals its own wounds before they can fester. If you try to create a contradiction, the laws of probability will conspire against you, creating a series of coincidences that force the narrative back onto the rails. You are free to act, but your actions are always, inevitably, part of the single, logical history that has already been written. There is a gentleness in this restriction. It means you do not carry the burden of holding the universe together. The laws of physics do that for you. You cannot accidentally break reality. You can walk through the world with the confidence that your footprints are part of the plan, that your mistakes and your triumphs are essential components of the great machine. The timeline is robust, capable of absorbing the chaos of human choice and weaving it into a stable, enduring design. And peace follows the curve. Let us drift away from the paradoxes. and back to the sensation of time passing in the room. You feel the flow because of the tiny, irreversible changes happening around you. The microscopic settling of dust, the cooling of the air, the metabolism of your cells. This is the texture of time, the roughness that gives it direction. If the world were perfectly frictionless, perfectly elastic, time might lose its meaning. It is the friction, the wear, and the gentle decay that tells you which way is forward. You are navigating by the stars of entropy. Imagine a universe where everything was perfectly reversible, where a swinging pendulum never lost energy to the air. In such a place, history would be a palindrome, reading the same forward and backward. There would be no difference between the past and the future, no growth, no aging, no memory. It is the very imperfections, the friction, the loss of heat, that allow life to have a story. We owe our existence to the fact that the universe is slowly winding down, creating a gradient that we can slide down like children on a hill. The slope remains steady. This gradient is steep near the stars, where energy pours out in vast, wasteful torrents, driving the evolution of galaxies. It is shallower in the cold voids between them, where change happens with agonizing slowness. You are living in a warm, active pocket of the cosmos, where the flow of entropy is rich and vibrant. Your heartbeats are powered by this flow, consuming order to create the rhythm of life. You are a localized engine of time, turning the potential energy of the universe into the kinetic experience of being alive. Sometimes, physics whispers of a white hole, the theoretical opposite of a black hole. While a black hole lets nothing escape, a white hole lets nothing enter. It is a fountain of light and matter, spewing energy into the universe, a cosmic rewind of the collapse. If you were to approach it, you would be fighting against a tide of outgoing time, pushing against a stream that refuses to let you in. It stands as a monument to the reverse flow, a theoretical possibility that reminds us the equations work both ways, even if reality rarely does. And light moves through the dark. In the vast silence of space, there are regions where the density of matter is so low that time seems to lose its urgency. In the great cosmic voids, millions of light years across, there are no stars to mark the passage of the eons, no events to clutter the calendar. A clock drifting there would tick, but without an observer, without change, the concept of later becomes abstract. Time requires matter to give it shape, to give it context. Without the heaviness of things, time is a ghost, haunting the empty theater of the vacuum. You, however, are surrounded by matter, the blankets, the walls, the atmosphere. This density anchors you in the stream. The gravity of the Earth, the Sun, and the galaxy grips you, pulling you along the curve of the world tube. You are not just drifting, you are being carried by the momentum of the spheres. The rotation of the Earth creates the rhythm of day and night, a biological clock that syncs your body to the mechanics of the solar system. You are a gear in the celestial clockwork. The mechanism turns slowly. This synchronization is deep. Your body has its own internal timekeepers, the circadian rhythms that rise and fall like tides in your blood. These biological clocks are attuned to the spin of the planet, anticipating the dawn and the dusk. Even in a dark room, your cells know the rotation of the Earth. You are physically bound to the astronomical movement of your home. Time travel, in a sense, would be a disruption of this harmony, a severing of the link between your blood and the turning world. To travel to the future is to fall out of sync, to let the drumbeat of the world speed up while yours stays slow. To travel to the past is to try to catch a beat that has already faded, but to stay in the present is to resonate perfectly with the universe, to vibrate at the fundamental frequency of the now. There is a profound wellness in this resonance, a feeling of being exactly where you are supposed to be, moving at exactly the right speed. You are riding the wave of the present, the only place where life can truly be felt, and the connection remains. Consider the light cone, a shape in the diagrams of physicists that defines your future and your past. From the point where you sit, light spreads out into the future in an expanding cone, defining everything you can possibly influence. Behind you, a similar cone narrows down from the past, containing everything that could have influenced you. You live at the pinch point, the hourglass waste where the past meets the future. This is the here and now, the focal point of your reality. Outside these cones lies the elsewhere, a vast region of space-time that you cannot touch and that cannot touch you. The elsewhere is a zone of absolute neutrality. Events happening there are disconnected from your timeline. They cannot cause you joy or pain, nor can you alter them. It is a zone of safety, a reminder that you are not responsible for the entire universe. You are only responsible for the events within your light cone, the reachable sphere of your own life. The laws of physics grant you a limited horizon, a manageable stage on which to act. The rest of the cosmos drifts in the silent, untouchable distance, beyond the reach of your causality. The horizon stays clear. Some theories suggest that the universe protects itself from time travel paradoxes through a mechanism called cosmic censorship. This idea proposes that singularities, points of infinite density where time breaks down, are always hidden behind event horizons. The universe cloaks its jagged edges, covering the naked violations of logic with a veil of darkness. It ensures that the chaotic, time-twisting core of a black hole can never be seen by the outside world. We are shielded from the madness of broken time by the very laws that govern it. This censorship is like a courteous partition, keeping the backstage machinery of the cosmos hidden from the audience. We see the smooth performance of cause and effect, unaware of the tangled knots that may exist in the deep gravity wells. It suggests that the universe values order and consistency, that it strives to present a coherent face to its observers. We are living in the censored, safe version of reality, where time flows like a calm river, and the whirlpools are kept far downstream, and the river widens. But even within the safety of the timeline, there are moments of dilation. Have you ever felt a moment stretch, expanding beyond its measured seconds? A moment of awe or deep silence where the clock seems to stop? This is the psychological experience of time dilation. While your watch ticks steadily, your mind has the power to alter the sampling rate of reality. In a state of high attention, you take in more detail, more light, more sensation, and the moment feels richer, longer. You are stretching the now from the inside. This internal elasticity is your own private time machine. You can slow down the evening by paying attention to the settling dust, the hum of the silence, the weight of the air. You can speed up a wait by letting your mind drift elsewhere. You are the master of your perception, capable of bending the subjective flow even if the objective flow remains rigid. The physics of the mind is softer than the physics of the stars, allowing for a flexibility that the equations ignore. The feeling deepens. As you rest, you are engaging in a form of time travel called retention. You are holding the last second in your mind as the new second arrives, stitching them together to create a continuous melody. Without this retention, life would be a series of disconnected staccato notes. But your consciousness smooths the transition, blending the fading echo of the past with the sharp attack of the present. You are constantly bridging the gap, sewing the moments into a seamless scarf of experience. This weaving happens effortlessly. You do not have to command your brain to remember the beginning of the sentence as you reach the end. It is an automatic grace, a gift of your biology that allows you to perceive music, motion, and meaning. You are a creature built for continuity, designed to inhabit the flow. The universe offers the raw data of events, but you, the gentle observer, create the smooth sensation of time. You are the artist who turns the discrete points of the block universe into a flowing line. This smooth sensation of continuity raises a question that lingers in the quiet halls of philosophy. If the universe is a solid block, what is it that moves? Perhaps consciousness itself is a spotlight, a wandering beam of attention that illuminates one slice of the block at a time. The events are waiting in the dark, unobserved, until your awareness slides over them, bringing them into the warmth of the now. Once the light passes, they return to the shadow, unchanged and eternal. You are not creating the world. You are simply lighting the room as you walk through it. In this view, the passage of time is a property of the mind, not the stars. The universe is a static sculpture, a gallery of moments, and you are the visitor walking slowly down the corridor. The speed of your walk is set by biology, by the firing rate of neurons, but the corridor itself does not stretch or shrink, it waits. This idea grants a dignity to every moment. The sad times and the joyful times are all permanent exhibits in the museum of your existence, equally real and equally valid parts of the whole, and the light travels on. Let us consider the strange connection between particles known as entanglement, a bond that seems to ignore the polite rules of distance and delay. If two particles interact and are then separated by galaxies, they remain linked. A change in the state of one is instantly reflected in the other, faster than light could ever travel between them. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance, a ghost in the machine. It suggests that on a fundamental level, space does not separate things. The universe is stitched together so tightly that here and there are the same place. If space is an illusion for these particles, perhaps time is too. Some physicists propose that entanglement connects particles not just across space, but across time. A measurement you make tomorrow could be linked to a particle's state yesterday. The future and the past might be holding hands across the gap, exchanging information in a whisper we cannot hear. The fabric of reality is not just a sheet, it is a folded origami, where distant corners touch and influence one another in the dark. The bond holds fast. There is a new form of matter, recently discovered in the quiet labs of the world, called a time crystal. Ordinary crystals, like salt or diamond, repeat their patterns in space, atom after atom, row after row. A time crystal repeats its pattern in time. It flips its state back and forth, ticking like a heartbeat without consuming energy, locked in a perpetual cycle of change. It is matter that has broken the symmetry of time translation, refusing to sit still, creating a rhythm that owes nothing to the outside world. Imagine holding a stone that pulses, not with heat or light, but with existence itself, changing and returning to its original form in a perfect loop. It is a physical echo, a material demonstration that time is a dimension in which structure can be built. Just as a snowflake has a shape in space, these crystals have a shape in time, a lattice of moments, structured and precise. They remind us that order is not just for the spatial world. The temporal world has its own architecture, its own repeating beauty. And the pulse continues. As we look far down the timeline, past the era of stars, we see the universe drifting toward a state of ultimate equilibrium. This is the heat death, the final soothing of all turbulence. It sounds like an ending, but it is actually a state of perfect peace. All the energy that was once concentrated in burning suns will be spread evenly across the void. The differences in temperature will vanish. The arrow of time, driven by entropy, will finally lose its target, for there will be no more disorder to create. In this distant future, time will cease to have a direction. Without change, without the flow of heat, the distinction between before and after dissolves. The universe will enter a state of timeless stillness, a vast, cool ocean where the waves have settled. It is the ultimate rest, the final, sleeping science of the cosmos. Everything that ever struggled, burned, or rushed will have found its place in the quiet equilibrium. The story does not end in darkness, it ends in balance. The stillness widens. But here, in the vibrant era of the present, the arrow still flies. We are living in the stelliferous era, the age of stars, a brief, bright window in the history of time. You are lucky to be here, in this rare epoch where the universe is active, churning, and alive. We are the witnesses to the fireworks, the observers who get to see the show before the lights fade. Your consciousness is a celebration of this activity, a mirror reflecting the dynamic beauty of a universe that has not yet gone to sleep. Consider the retrocausality lurking in the equations of quantum mechanics, the idea that the future can influence the past. In the classic double-slit experiment, a particle seems to know if it will be watched before it completes its journey. It behaves as a wave or a particle depending on a choice made at the end of its path. It is as if the particle reaches back from the destination to adjust its departure. The handshake between cause and effect might work in both directions, a subtle negotiation across the timeline, and the loop tightens. If the future can touch the past, then the universe is not a domino chain falling one way, but a web where every thread pulls on every other. Your future self might be, in some tiny quantum way, helping to stabilize the person you are today. The decisions you have not yet made could be sending ripples back upstream, guiding you toward them. It is a comforting thought that you are being pulled forward by destiny as much as you are being pushed by history. Let us return to the biology of the now. Neurologists suggest that what you perceive as the present moment is actually a roughly 3-second window. Your brain gathers sensory data, buffers it, and presents it to you as a coherent package. You are living in a sliding window of 3 seconds, a specious present where the immediate past and the immediate future blend together. This is why a melody makes sense. You hold the previous notes in the same mental breath as the current one. The window remains open. You are a time traveler on the scale of seconds. Your mind stitches the raw inputs into a seamless narrative, smoothing over the blink of an eye, the gap in attention. You bridge the discontinuities of the world with the continuity of yourself. If you clap your hands, the sound and the touch arrive at your brain at different times, but your mind synchronizes them, editing the tape so they happen together. You are the editor of your own reality, aligning the tracks of time to create a harmonious experience. This synchronization is a profound act of creation. Without it, the world would be a disjointed chaos of signals. You create the now by actively fusing the senses. In this way, time is not just something that happens to you. It is something you do. You are performing the act of timing, moment by moment, weaving the scattered photons and sound waves into the tapestry of the present. You are the loom on which the thread of time is woven, and the weave holds. Think of the ancient light of the cosmic microwave background, the afterglow of the Big Bang that fills the sky. It is the oldest light in the universe, a snapshot of the cosmos when it was a mere infant, hot and dense. This light is passing through your room right now, washing over you, carrying the secrets of the beginning. You are bathed in the radiation of the primeval past. The history of the universe is not locked in a book. It is a physical presence, touching your skin, vibrating in the air. Every time you switch on an old television to a dead channel, a fraction of the static you see is this ancient light, captured by the antenna. You are watching the Big Bang, seeing the chaotic snow of the universe's birth. The past is interacting with your present technology, a ghost influencing the machine. We are never truly separated from the origin. The echo of the first moment is still ringing, and we are vibrating in resonance with it. The echo travels on. The concept of time dilation also exists in the realm of biology. When you are cold, your internal clock speeds up, making the world seem to drag. When you are in a fever, time seems to warp and jump. The metabolic rate of your body dictates the tempo of your consciousness. Small animals with fast metabolisms, like flies, see the world in slow motion. To them, your hand moves like a glacier. You are a giant living in a different time stream, moving at a sluggish pace relative to the buzzing life of the insect world. This relativity of biology means that time is a spectrum. There is tree time, slow and seasonal, where a year is a single breath. There is stone time, measured in erosion and geological shifts. And there is human time, the frantic, beautiful pace of the heartbeat. We are all overlapping, sharing the same space, but living in different temporal layers. As you sleep, you drift down toward the slower rhythms, joining the trees and the stones, letting the frantic pace of the human layer dissolve. Quietly, the pace slows. Imagine the earth itself as a timekeeper. The layers of rock beneath your home are a vertical calendar, preserving the eras of mud, ice, and magma. To dig down is to travel back. The history of the planet is stacked directly under your bed, a library of stone pages. You are resting on top of millions of years, supported by the compressed memories of ancient oceans and forests. The past is not gone. It is the foundation, the bedrock that holds you up. Gravity, too, has a memory. When two black holes collide, they send out ripples in spacetime, gravitational waves that travel for billions of years. These waves stretch and squeeze the Earth by a fraction of an atom as they pass. The violent history of the distant universe gently rocks you to sleep, a cosmic lullaby that flexes the space you occupy. You are connected to the grandest events in the cosmos by these silent, invisible waves. And the wave passes gently. Consider the photon's journey from the center of the sun. It takes 1,000,000 years for a particle of light to fight its way from the dense core to the surface, bouncing billions of times in the crowded plasma. Once it breaks free, it takes only 8 minutes to reach your window. The sunlight that warms your face is ancient, older than human civilization, yet it feels fresh and new. It is a time capsule of energy, released after a long imprisonment to brush against your skin. You are the destination of that 1,000,000-year journey. The photon traveled all that way, through the crushing dark and the empty void, to end its existence in your eye, creating a spark of vision. In that moment of contact, the timeline of the star intersects with the timeline of your life. It is a meeting of the cosmic and the personal, a fusion of deep time and the immediate present. You are the shore where the light waves finally break. The light rests here. As you lie in the dark, you are engaging in a process of cellular repair that reverses the day's entropy. Sleep is the biological counterattack against the arrow of time. While you rest, your body knits together torn proteins, clears out toxins, and organizes memories. You are restoring order, fighting the drift toward chaos. In this sense, sleep is a fountain of youth, a nightly reset that allows you to step back into the flow tomorrow with renewed structure. This restoration happens in a rhythm, a cycle of stages that repeats through the night. You descend into deep sleep, rise to dream, and descend again. It is a wave-like motion, a tide that washes in and out of consciousness. You are drifting on this internal ocean, carried by the currents of your own biology. The linear time of the clock on the wall becomes irrelevant. You are now moving in circular time, the time of cycles and renewal, and the cycle returns. There is a theory that perhaps the universe itself cycles, expanding and contracting in a big bounce. In this view, our universe is just one breath in an eternal series of breaths. The cosmos expands, slows, and eventually falls back together, only to ignite again. If this is true, then time has no beginning and no end. It is a circle, vast and timeless. We are living in one season of an endless year, part of a rhythm that has been playing forever. This cyclical view removes the anxiety of the end. There is no final curtain, only a transformation. The energy that makes up your body was present in the last universe, and it will be present in the next. You are made of recycled stardust, matter that has seen the birth and death of cosmos after cosmos. You are a veteran of eternity, a traveler who has been here since the forever ago, wearing new forms but carrying the same fundamental essence. This ancient nature means that your memory is not just a replay of a video, but a physical access to a specific coordinate in the block universe. When you recall the smell of rain on hot asphalt, you are not inventing a phantom sensation. You are briefly resonating with a moment that is permanently embedded in the structure of reality. The neural patterns in your brain are aligning with the geometry of that past event. In a way, remembering is a form of time travel, where the mind moves while the body stays still. You are sending a signal down the world tube to retrieve a piece of yourself. The act of remembering is subjective time travel, a defiance of the forward march. While the arrow of time pushes your biology into the future, your consciousness has the permission to loop back. You can inhabit the afternoon of a decade ago, feeling the texture of the light and the mood of the room. This ability to layer the past over the present is what gives human life its depth. We do not live on a thin razor's edge of now. We live in a thick, rich atmosphere of accumulated time, breathing in the air of our own history. And the memory holds. Consider the theory that time does not flow at all, but that the universe is a vast collection of static nows, like a deck of cards scattered on a table. Each card is a complete universe, a snapshot of reality in a single configuration. In this view, known as timeless physics, motion is an illusion created by the arrangement of the cards. Your consciousness simply traces a path through the scattered deck, ordering the snapshots into a logical sequence. The feeling of flow is the result of the relationship between one card and the next, not a property of the cards themselves. If the universe is truly timeless, then nothing is ever lost. The card where you are a child, laughing in the garden, is just as real and present as the card where you are resting now. It lies elsewhere in the pile, safe and untouched. We suffer from the illusion of loss because we can only focus on one card at a time. But in the grand configuration space of the cosmos, every moment exists simultaneously. The garden is still blooming. The child is still laughing. They are simply not in the room where you currently reside. The collection remains complete. This perspective, championed by physicists who study the quantum shape of the universe, offers a profound stillness. It suggests that the end of time is not a catastrophe, but a realization. We are wandering through a museum of eternal moments, observing the exhibits one by one. There is no rush to see them all, for the museum never closes and the exhibits never change. You are free to linger in the comfortable moments, to revisit the quiet rooms of your life, knowing they are permanent fixtures in the gallery of existence. Let us drift to the physical evidence of time travel that surrounds you, the light of the stars. Every time you look at the night sky, you are looking into a time machine. You are seeing the universe as it was, not as it is. The great Andromeda galaxy appears to your eye as it existed 2.5 million years ago. You are witnessing a ghost, a shimmering memory made of photons. If there were someone in that galaxy looking back at us with a powerful telescope, they would not see you. They would see the Earth of the Stone Age, a wild and silent planet. And thou, vision travels. This reciprocal delay creates a web of disconnects. No 2 points in the universe share the exact same now. We are all separated by the time it takes for news to travel. The conversation between galaxies takes millions of years. The conversation between the sun and the earth takes 8 minutes. The conversation between your foot and your brain takes a fraction of a second. We are all living in slightly different time zones, buffered by the speed of light. This buffer is what prevents the universe from being a chaotic noise. It spaces out the events, giving everything room to breathe. Imagine the Earth not just spinning, but moving through the galaxy. We are spiraling around the center of the Milky Way at immense speeds. Because of this motion, we never return to the same place in space. When the year cycles around and you reach your birthday again, you are not back where you started. You are billions of miles away, in a new region of the void, following the helical path of the solar system. We are corkscrewing through the cosmos, always moving into fresh territory, exploring new volumes of the dark. The path winds forward. This helical motion means that time travel would also require space travel. To return to the past, you would have to calculate exactly where the Earth was in the vast emptiness of the galaxy back then. It is a moving target, a spaceship that never stops. This complexity adds to the security of the timeline. The past is protected not just by the laws of causality, but by the sheer vastness of space. The moments we leave behind are scattered across the spiral arm of the galaxy, a trail of breadcrumbs left in the wake of the sun. As you lie flat, your body is equalizing its experience of time. When you stand, your head ages faster than your feet because gravity is weaker higher up. But now, aligned horizontally, your heart and your head are on the same level of the space-time curve. You have removed the gravitational gradient from your body. You are aging uniformly, every cell ticking in unison. There is a physiological harmony in this posture, a leveling of the temporal playing field. You have aligned yourself with the curvature of the Earth, and the balance restores. The concept of information conservation suggests that in the quantum world, information is never destroyed. If you burn a book, the information is not gone. It is scrambled into the ash and the smoke and the heat. Theoretically, if you could collect every particle of ash and every photon of heat, you could reconstruct the book. This implies that the past is deterministically locked into the present. The state of the universe right now contains all the data needed to rewind the tape perfectly. You are a living record of everything that has ever happened to you. This indestructibility of information is a scientific form of immortality. The precise configuration of atoms that makes up you at this moment creates a ripple that spreads out forever. Even as the energy disperses, the fact that you existed and that you lay here on this night is written into the wave function of the universe. It cannot be erased. You are etched into the bedrock of reality, a permanent signature in the quantum ledger. The record keeps the account. Let us return to the gentle slowing of the mind. As you relax, your brain waves slow from the rapid, jagged beta waves of the day to the rolling, oceanic alpha and theta waves. You are literally changing the frequency of your consciousness. In this slower state, the perception of time expands. A minute of dream time can hold an hour of narrative. You are entering the time of the deep, where the clock on the wall loses its authority. You are trading the rigid mechanical time for the fluid, organic time of the body. This transition is a natural form of time dilation. Just as a spaceship approaching a black hole experiences a stretching of seconds, a mind approaching sleep experiences a stretching of the moment. The boundaries of the self begin to soften. The worry about tomorrow and the regret about yesterday fade, because the now becomes so large that it fills the entire horizon. You are zooming in on the present until it becomes a landscape of its own, vast enough to wander in. And the horizon widens. Think of the neutrino, a ghostly particle that passes through your body by the trillions every second, day and night. They originate from the sun and distant supernovae, traveling through the Earth as if it were glass. To a neutrino, the solid world is empty space. They travel at nearly the speed of light, barely aging, carrying messages from the heart of stars. You are transparent to the cosmos, a window through which the universe watches itself. These tiny travelers connect you to the nuclear furnace of the sun, stitching you into the stellar cycle. In the block universe, there is a concept called world lines. Your world line is the path you trace through spacetime, a permanent thread in the fabric. It is braided with the world lines of your home, your family, your pets. Even when paths diverge, the braid remains, a knot that cannot be undone. The structure of the universe is a tapestry of these woven lines. You are not a solitary point. You are a fiber in a boundless cloth, supported by the threads that cross and recross your own. The weave holds tight. This fabric is not static. It ripples. Gravitational waves, the echoes of massive collisions, are constantly passing through us. They stretch the distance between your atoms by an infinitesimal amount. You are breathing with the universe, expanding and contracting with the rhythm of distant black holes. We are not observers standing apart from the cosmos. We are the material it is made of, flexing with its movements. The universe is a single, continuous substance, and you are a ripple in its surface. Consider the presentist view, which contrasts with the block universe. It suggests that only the now is real and the past falls away like the wake of a ship. Even in this view, the now is a powerful, singular place. It is the point of power, the only place where energy can be transformed. By resting here, you are occupying the most potent coordinate in existence. You are surfing the crest of the wave of reality, the very leading edge of time itself, and the wave travels on. The warmth of the blankets around you is a lesson in thermodynamics. You are trapping heat, creating a small pocket of high entropy and comfort. By slowing the loss of heat, you are creating a stable microclimate, a pause in the cooling of the universe. In this little bubble, the rush toward equilibrium is slowed. You have created a sanctuary where the laws of physics work to keep you warm, a fortress of thermal energy protecting you from the cold void of the night. As the mind drifts, the distinction between internal and external time blurs. In deep meditation or sleep, the sense of sequence dissolves. Events do not happen one after another. They merge into a single state of being. This is close to the photon's perspective, an existence where the journey and the destination are one. You are approaching the speed of light in your dreams, where the constraints of distance and delay vanish, and you can be everywhere at once. The boundaries dissolve. There is a comfort in the determinism of the block universe. The idea that the future is already safe in the crystal. It means you do not have to hold the weight of the world. The track is laid. The train knows the way. You can let go of the steering wheel and simply watch the scenery. The anxiety of what if is replaced by the curiosity of what is. You are being carried by a force much larger than your will, a current that has flowed from the Big Bang and will flow to the end of days. You are safe within the laws. The speed of light will not change tonight. Gravity will not let go of you. The earth will not stop turning. The constants of nature are the bars of the cradle, rigid and protective. They create a predictable, stable space where life can flourish. You can close your eyes because the universe does not blink. It holds the structure of space-time steady, ensuring that when you wake, the world will be there, waiting for you to rejoin the timeline. And the structure endures. Consider the silence of the room. Silence is not just the absence of sound. It is a lack of vibration, a stillness in the air molecules. It is a low-energy state. By being quiet, you are aligning yourself with the eventual peace of the cosmos. You are practicing the stillness of the deep universe. The noise of the day is a temporary fluctuation. The silence is the baseline, the enduring background of reality. You are returning to the fundamental note of existence. Deep in the equations of general relativity, there are solutions that allow for a rotating universe. If the entire cosmos was spinning, it would drag space-time around with it, creating closed, time-like curves everywhere. In such a universe, time travel would be easy. The past would simply be downstream. While our universe appears not to be spinning, the math shows how close the relationship is between rotation and time. It reminds us that movement defines the clock. By becoming still, you are stepping out of the rotation, finding the center point where the spinning stops. This stillness at the center of the turning world is a concept known in physics as the invariant interval. While observers moving at different speeds may disagree on how much time has passed or how much space has been traversed, they all agree on this single combined measure. It is the rock-solid reality that sits beneath the shifting perceptions of space and time. The interval is the fundamental distance between events, a truth that does not bend for anyone. No matter how fast you move or how deep you sleep, the interval between cause and effect remains sacred and preserved. The existence of this invariant measure suggests that there is an objective reality, one that exists independently of your point of view. You are resting in a universe that has rules, a structure that holds firm against the chaos. This is a source of profound security. You do not need to maintain the world with your attention. The geometry of the interval does it for you. It locks the events of your life into a coherent relationship that cannot be shaken, ensuring that the narrative of your existence makes sense from every angle, and the foundation holds. Consider the holographic principle, a whisper from the cutting edge of string theory. It suggests that all the information contained in the volume of the universe might be encoded on the two-dimensional boundary, like a shell surrounding the cosmos. In this view, what we perceive as depth, as the three-dimensional space we move through, is a projection, a magnificent hologram generated from the data on the horizon. We might be living in a projection of light and gravity, playing out our lives in the center of a great sphere of information. If this is true, then time itself might be part of the hologram, a projection of a deeper, timeless code. The flow you feel is the rendering of the data, the universe reading its own memory. You are part of this grand display, a complex pattern of interference and light. It makes the heavy burden of the material world feel lighter, more translucent. You are not a heavy object, dragging yourself through the mud of time. You are a shimmer of information, light and effortless, projected into the beautiful illusion of the now. The projection remains clear. Let us return to the statistical nature of the arrow of time. We say that a glass cannot unshatter, but physics says it is merely incredibly unlikely. Given an infinite amount of time, the random thermal motion of the air molecules could, theoretically, bump the shards back together. It is not impossible. It is just rare. This means that the irreversible flow of time is not a rigid law, but a game of chance. You are winning the lottery of order every single second. The universe is constantly rolling the dice and coming up with forward. This statistical flow is what keeps your breath moving in and out, your heart pumping, your thoughts evolving. You are riding the wave of probability. As you sleep, you are trusting the odds. You trust that the air will remain in the room, that gravity will keep pulling down, that the sun will rise in the east, and the odds are overwhelmingly in your favor. The universe is a creature of habit, repeating its patterns with a reliability that borders on the absolute, and the dice settle quietly. Think of the Zeno effect in quantum mechanics, the idea that a system cannot change while you are watching it continuously. If you observe an unstable particle without blinking, it never decays. It is as if attention itself freezes time. By closing your eyes, you are releasing the world from your watch. You are allowing the universe to change, to evolve, to perform the maintenance that requires privacy. You are granting the cosmos the permission to move forward by withdrawing your gaze. When you drift into sleep, you stop measuring the world. You stop collapsing the wave functions of your immediate surroundings. You let the room dissolve back into a soft blur of potential. This release is essential. It allows your mind to unspool, to wander into the non-linear territories of the dream, where the strict rules of the clock do not apply. You are stepping out of the rigid world of the observer and into the fluid world of the participant. The gaze softens. There is a concept called proper time, the time measured by a clock that you carry with you. It is the only time that truly matters to your body. The clocks on the wall, the satellites in the sky, the rotation of the galaxy, these are external coordinates. But proper time is your personal accumulation of existence. It is the sum of every heartbeat, every breath, every moment of silence you have ever known. No one can take your proper time from you. It is the one possession that is strictly, inalienably yours. Your proper time is essentially the length of your world line, the distance you have traveled through the block universe. Tonight, as you lie still, you are maximizing the efficiency of your travel. You are not wasting your proper time on frantic motion or stress. You are savoring it, letting it pool around you like a warm bath. You are inhabiting your own timeline fully, occupying the center of your own existence without apology or haste. And the line extends gently. Consider the dark energy that is slowly pushing the universe apart. It is expanding the empty space between galaxies, stretching the fabric of the cosmos. This expansion is carrying the distant future away from us, making the universe lonelier and quieter over billions of years. But it also creates a kind of privacy. The galaxies are retreating into their own islands of time, separated by vast, uncrossable oceans of expanding dark. We are safe in our own local pocket, protected from the interference of the far cosmos. This isolation is a shelter. It ensures that the timeline of the Milky Way is allowed to unfold without interruption. We are drifting in a quiet corner of the Great Hall, left alone to dream our own dreams. The expansion of the universe is not a tearing apart. It is a creating of space, a widening of the room to allow for more silence. It is the cosmos making the bed larger, smoothing out the sheets of space-time for a long, peaceful rest. The space widens. Let us think of the atoms in your hands. They are the true time travelers. The carbon, the nitrogen, the iron. They were forged in the hearts of stars that died before the Earth was born. They have traveled through the explosion of supernovas, drifted through the freezing cold of interstellar clouds, and coalesced into the planet, the food, and finally, into you. Your body is a temporary meeting place for matter that is billions of years old. You are a curator of ancient artifacts. Every atom in your lashes is a relic from the dawn of time. They have seen the universe in its youth, and they will see it in its twilight. For this brief, beautiful moment, they are gathered together to form the shape of you, held in place by the gentle laws of chemistry. You are the current custodian of this stardust, giving it a name, a consciousness, and a moment of rest before it eventually moves on to become something else. And the gathering holds. This perspective dissolves the ego into the stream of time. You are not a separate entity fighting against the clock. You are the clock. You are the mechanism by which the universe measures its own age. Your awareness is the universe feeling the passage of the eons. By resting, you are honoring the ancient journey of the matter that makes you. You are giving the stars a place to sleep. The Minkowski diagram is a map used by physicists to visualize space-time. It shows the past as a cone stretching down and the future as a cone stretching up. Where they meet, the vertex is the present. You are always at the vertex. No matter where you go, no matter how much time passes, you are always at the center of your own light cone. You carry the now with you like a lantern in the dark. You can never leave the present, for it is the definition of where you are. The center moves with you. This inability to escape the present is not a prison. It is a promise. It guarantees that you will never be lost in the past or stranded in the future. You will always be here, in the only moment that exists for you. The regret of yesterday is a phantom. The worry of tomorrow is a ghost. The reality is the breath, the sheet, the gravity. You are tethered to the reality of the immediate, held safe in the vertex of light. As we near the end of our drift, consider the event horizon one last time. It is the point of no return, but also the point of ultimate commitment. When you cross into sleep, you are crossing a gentle event horizon. You are letting go of the outside world, allowing the gravity of the dream to pull you in. It is a safe crossing, a daily voyage into the unknown that always returns you to the shore of the morning. You are an expert voyager, a captain of the subconscious, and the crossing is safe. The theories of time travel, with their loops and paradoxes, are the mind's way of wrestling with the desire for permanence. We want to keep the moments that we love, but the physics of the block universe tells us that we do not need to keep them. The universe keeps them for us. Nothing is ever deleted. The laughter, the peace, the quiet nights, they are all safe in the geometry of the eternal. You do not need to hold on tight. The structure of space-time is holding it all for you. You can relax your grip. The memories are not fading. They are simply fixed in their coordinates, like stars in the sky. You are free to move forward, to explore the new coordinates of the night, knowing that the past is secure behind you. The road ahead is open, smooth, and waiting for your quiet arrival. The science of time is the science of assurance. The assurance that everything which happens is written into the very substance of reality. The script is secure. Now, as the logic of the day finally unspools, let the concepts of physics dissolve into the sensation of rest. The speed of light is just a number. The curvature of space is just a cradle. The paradoxes are just riddles that have no power here. There is only the simple, elegant truth of your body resting in the flow. You have understood the architecture of the years, and now you can simply live within it. You are a traveler who has stopped for the night. The engine is off. The map is folded. The stars outside are rushing away, but in here, everything is still. You are suspended in the perfect equilibrium of the moment, balance between what was and what will be. The arrow of time has slowed to a gentle, rhythmic pulse. You are exactly where you need to be. The ticking of the clock is no longer a command. It is simply the heartbeat of the room, a steady, rhythmic assurance that time is passing exactly as it should. You do not need to manage the flow. The universe has been managing this river for 13 billion years, and it flows without your effort. You can unclench your mind, releasing the need to track the seconds. Let the river carry you. You are a piece of driftwood, buoyant and safe, floating downstream toward the calm, wide ocean of sleep. Every breath you take is a synchronization with the present moment. Inhale, and you are drawing the now into your lungs. Exhale, and you are releasing the past into the air. You are a biological clock, counting the moments not with numbers, but with life. This rhythm is older than the mountains, a primal cadence that connects you to every living thing that has ever slept. You are joining the great silent chorus of the resting world, breathing in unison with the turning earth, and everything rests. The mysteries of the quantum world, the entanglement of particles, and the curvature of light all settle into a simple, singular truth. You are safe. The complexity of the physics that holds the bed together is invisible, doing its work in the silence. You are supported by forces you do not need to understand to enjoy. The strong nuclear force holds your atoms together. Gravity holds you to the planet. Time holds you in the moment. You are cradled by the fundamental laws of nature. As the night deepens, the concept of waiting disappears. There is nothing to wait for, because you are already here. The future will arrive in its own time, unfolding gently like a flower opening to the sun. You do not need to pull it closer or push it away. In this state of rest, you are timeless. You are hovering in the sweet spot of existence, suspended between the gravity of the earth and the vastness of the stars. The quiet deepens. You are drifting through the architecture of the block universe, passing through the halls of the night. The rooms of tomorrow are prepared, waiting for you with fresh light and new air. But the door to those rooms is closed for now, allowing you to rest in the hallway of the present. There is no rush to open them. The corridor of sleep is safe, a protected passage where the mind can wander without destination, free from the linearity of the day. Let the final thoughts of the day dissolve like sugar in warm water. The questions of how and why and when fade into the simple sensation of is. You are. The room is. The night is. That is enough. The universe does not demand more from you than this simple presence. You are fulfilling your role in the cosmos simply by existing, by adding your mass and your quiet breath to the balance of the world. And peace lingers. The loop is closed. The journey from the arrow of entropy to the curvature of relativity, from the chaos of the quantum foam to the stability of the crystal, ends here. It ends in the softness of the mattress and the weight of the eyelids. You have traveled through the furthest reaches of theory, only to find that the most beautiful time is the one you are in right now. The science leads back to the silence. The equations resolve into rest. Your body is heavy, anchored to the timeline, yet your spirit is light, ready to float free. The gravity that warps space is now a blanket, tucking you in, holding you close to the center of the world. The speed of light is the speed of your dreams, instant and bright. You are a master of time, capable of stretching the night into an eternity of peace, capable of waking renewed. The rhythm continues. The stars above you continue their slow, ancient slide across the sky, marking the time for no one but themselves. You are disconnected from their vast calendar, synchronized instead with the slow, personal rhythm of your own rest. The universe is vast, but tonight, your world is small, warm, and perfectly contained. You are the gentle observer, watching the show of existence from behind closed eyes, letting the curtain fall softly on the stage. If your eyes remain open, another journey awaits, but if sleep arrives, you are already home.